In 1996, the movie Scream had hit theaters all across the country, which is a movie about a group of friends that are trying to survive a serial killer that was trying to kill them. A little known fact about the movie is that it was based off true events. The movie was based off this man Danny Rowling, who's also known as the Gainesville Ripper. Danny Rowling was born on May 26, 1954 in Shreveport, Louisiana. He grew up in an abusive household because his father didn't want children, but he was also a cop too. Danny's father would constantly abuse him and his mother, and as he got older, in order to cope with the abuse, he would play music just to deal with it. And after he graduated from high school, he decided to join the military. The Navy wouldn't take him, so he ended up joining the Air Force instead. He was in the Air Force for a while until he dropped out due to drug use. After being discharged from the military, Danny managed to get married and try to live a normal life, but the cycle of abuse had continued. At the age of 23, after being with his wife for 4 years, she would go ahead and separate from him because he threatened to unalive her. In 1977, he would turn his devastation to anger, where he assaulted a woman that resembled his wife, and later that year, he had hit a woman with his car, in which she did not survive. So from 1970 to 1990, he would be arrested for petty crimes and theft, as well as armed robbery. He was in the criminal justice system from Mississippi, Louisiana, Georgia, and Alabama. He broke out of prison several times, and even during the time period he was released from prison, he was not able to hold down a job. Now, during the time he was not working, he had claimed the lives of 3 people: 24-year-old Julie Grissom, her father John Grissom, and her 8-year-old son. And after claiming their lives, he did not stop there. He would return home to claim vengeance on his father, where he shot him twice, but somehow his father survived it. And after shooting his father, he would go ahead and change his identity to Michael Kennedy Jr. and had took a bus to Sarasota, Florida. So after moving to Florida, he felt that he can get his life back together, but instead of getting better, it actually got a lot worse. Because on August 24th, 1990, he would go on a 4-day killing spree, in which his first 2 victims were Christina Powell and Sonia Larson. They were both incoming freshmen for the University of Florida in Gainesville. He had followed them and broke into their house and then went ahead to unalive them, which started his streak as the Gainesville Ripper. Now what he would do is he would duct tape his victims, then have them perform certain acts on him before he unalived them. Now the next day after he killed Christina and Sonia, Krista Holt was his next victim, in which he unalived her in the exact same fashion, but he went a step further where he would position her body at the edge of the bed and then removed her head and put on the bookcase. Now, once news had spread around campus that there was a serial killer on the loose, everybody had took precautions with traveling in groups, as well as not sleeping alone just to try to tear him away, but even that didn't work. Because his final victims, who were 23-year-old Tracy Paulus and 23-year-old Manuel Tabata, he would unalive them as well, except for he didn't mutilate them because they felt he didn't have enough time or he was interrupted. So at the end of August, the university had canceled classes where over 1,000 of students had left the university, but only 700 decided not to come back. The reason why it was hard to catch the Gainesville Ripper was because of the fact that Danny's father was a cop. He knew exactly how to cover his tracks. So when he was done with his victims, he would take the duct tape off them and throw them in the dumpsters just because they didn't leave any fingerprints behind, as well as he would dump solvent all over the bodies just to get rid of any DNA evidence that was left on them. Danny would continue to steal from homes and gas stations until he was arrested during a high-speed chase for being wanted for robbing a Winn-Dixie. And it wasn't until after his arrest for those robberies when he confessed to being the Gainesville Ripper. Danny was tried and convicted, and then he was sentenced to death. On the day of his execution, his last meal consisted of lobster tail with butter, butterfly shrimp with cocktail sauce, a baked potato with butter and sour cream, strawberry cheesecake, and sweet tea. He was executed on October 25, 2006, and over 47 people had attended it.